The entertainment landscape is about to be completely defined by streaming, it seems. And there are two companies that are completely and totally ahead of everyone else. Disney is not one of them. Today, we'll tell you which two are leading the way across the industry and could see a complete domination unless something changes very soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are so happy that you are here with us today. An attitude of gratitude every single time you decide to click on one of our videos and spend time with us. It is a joy as always. All we ask in return is that you click the like button. And today we're talking about two companies in particular that are poised to dominate the entire entertainment landscape. Truly, investors should know about this, but largely they tend not to understand the gulf, the chasm that exists between, and we'll name them now, Netflix, but even more importantly, YouTube. And that YouTube story, in terms of how much it is dominating entertainment and what's on TV and the content that is created, that gets to be a very interesting story the more and more governments around the world want to take on Google. Now, we don't take any position here on this channel, nor in this video, for what should happen with Google, whether it should be allowed to remain as is or whether it stepped into monopolistic sort of territory. We can't tell you what courts will do there either, especially internationally. But the YouTube situation is, well, it's intriguing because YouTube itself, which is a component, by the way, of Google's Alphabet company, the umbrella term for all the companies that Google owns, although Google is one of those companies, YouTube itself is dominating the streaming business. And the more that it dominates the streaming business, the more one has to conclude that it is set up to be the biggest entertainment company in the world in the very near future, especially as people flee to streaming. We'll explain all of it. We've got a great panel I think you'll enjoy. Click the like button, and here we go.
This from The Hollywood Reporter. When TV ratings finally collide with streaming, an industry regulator's approval opened the door for first-party streaming data to supplement traditional TV ratings. Will it make a difference? This by Rick Porter, November 25th, 2024. A recent decision by a little-known industry oversight group could end up having a sizable impact on TV ratings and the ad business that relies on them. The Media Ratings Council, which accredits audience measurement models from such companies as Nielsen, ComScore, and Video Amp, gave a thumbs up to Nielsen's plan to incorporate first-party data from streaming outlets into its national TV ratings panel. The, quote, panel plus big data measurement has potential, at least for live events, to show that a noticeably higher number of people are watching a given program than the panel-only measure. Culture? Got thoughts?
Yeah. This is actually a 2-week-old story. I'm glad Hollywood Reporter finally got around to it. But yeah, the MRC was actually the ones that had negotiated the temporary suspension of Nielsen's accreditation back when they were worried about how Nielsen was tracking digital stuff. Well, not only did Nielsen build a great system to do that digitally called Nielsen One, they also were able to incorporate themselves into a lot of the streaming platforms directly. We've talked about how they do that with Disney Plus, right? It's active on your Disney Plus account from every level, every set-top box, every phone, wherever you're using that app, in whatever way you're using it, you are actually already live on Nielsen's platform, and they are tracking your information. Unless you turn it off, it's on by default. So I know that they're working with others to do the same thing if they haven't already. And now their ability to track and incorporate the other forms of delivery, I think this is a great step forward. It will give us even more accurate numbers between broadcast media plus streaming. And I think it will show still massive deficits in where they used to be as opposed to where they are. So this is a step in the right direction. It'll add more transparency in a way we have not had. And they're going to get cooperation from a lot of delivery methods and locations like cable and so on and so forth.
Can I ask a question to this? This app only tracks when the app is actually open and active, right? It does not track when you're doing other activities with, say, on your device, whether it be Apple TV or et cetera, correct?
Yeah, I mean, unless Apple TV is actually incorporated in their software, yeah, I think you're gonna be okay. But
Your
again,
incognito windows are safe then, because there's someone in the chat and like you're okay now. Your
yeah,
incognito windows are safe.
yeah, the only thing like I said, just make sure you select out either your incognito windows or your on your phone. Just tell it not to track you when you're not the app that
VPN
cannot
it.
track you. Yeah, each app allows you to not have the app track you when you're not using its features. So
Now,
go ahead.
what's most consequential for that model that Culture beautifully laid out there was live events. I think is very consequential in all of this, because now we have an aggregate of the breakdown between, let's say, when Peacock hosts something versus when NBC hosts something, and so forth.
Yeah.
That's this is very, very interesting stuff. I want to go ahead and slide all the way down here to get to these charts right here.
There you
We
go.
have TV use by media company. I was trying to figure this one out specifically. We have Disney in the lead, 11.7%, YouTube 10.6%, and down the line right here, Culture. What are we looking at specifically with this chart?
If this is tracking what I think it is, it's tracking media produced by an individual thing and where it appears, and it's tracking all of its availability. It's not actually accurate if it's tracking, the media company that's producing or has the most amount of media and the most consumed, because that would be YouTube hands down by 700 miles. But no,
Yeah,
they're just tracking
weird chart.
Yeah,
Wait. NBC
Disney-
and
go ahead.
NBC and Paramount are in the tops. Are they awake?
Yeah. Well, that. I could not figure this one out for the life of me, but we have another chart here down below that
Disney just recently retook this position in October, I believe, if I remember correctly. So again, I'm getting old now, so memory's not fantastic, but there was a point in time when Disney had fallen below others. This is the actual streaming services by share of TV use, and that's definitely YouTube, and that's going to only grow. Because what's it called? YouTube Premium or whatever, or live TV or whatnot that comes with it. I think people are actually starting to step even deeper into that. So this is a more accurate number, more something that is acceptable to people like myself and Spencer and others who like to pay attention to what's actually real. And this is one of those real ones. So,
and this is the big part of this story right here. You can actually see the breakdown of streaming services by share of TV use. YouTube, like Culture said, are way out in the lead. Netflix just behind them at 7.5%, and then way back there in fourth place, Disney Plus, and then Hulu, both with 2.4%. Actually says a portion of Hulu viewing was inadvertently attributed to Disney Plus in this period, so percentages aren't final. This is the big news about this whole thing. Disney Plus really behind the eight ball, especially given the hundreds of billions of dollars, folks, hundreds of billions that they've invested into this platform right here, and they're still investing billions more to get Hulu from the dead claws of Comcast right there to try to get it back from their their trifold deal that they had previously. Does Disney Plus even have a chance, and is Hulu the way to do it?
No.
Well, look, if you're going to distribute everything, and I the only reason I jumped in front of you, Steve, is because I got to go.
That's
but
okay.
Honestly, the Hulu is probably the best step forward. The worst thing they ever did was decide to flip it the other way around, and they had to do that because of public statements that they made in multiple shareholder calls. And they could have easily corrected that and repathed everything and whatever, but take into consideration at the time that they were doing that and building Disney Plus up, they were trying to artificially suppress Hulu's performance so they wouldn't have to pay Comcast even more money. So there's a financial benefit to that, or was. Now it's kind of looking a little rough, and we're starting to find, and there was a video and news story reported this week, I believe Marvin and Pro worked together on, if I'm aware, or if I may be wrong, but talking about the fact that Iger has been telling some fibs for a while now, and shareholders are not super happy about that.
The biggest problem. Sorry. Go
ahead. No,
I was going to say here, like, I'm coming in from a Canadian consumer at this point, because I'm in Canada, by the way. Hulu's not available up here, so already that's out of our market. Because it's licensing and everything else, we don't have that option. We get Disney Plus, we just get Disney Plus. I don't pay for any of these. I get Prime Video for free. I don't even, if they were able to manipulate that and even get Hulu up here, I still wouldn't pay for it. I don't find any investment in live streaming services like Netflix and etc. when I can literally find it somewhere else. And I think that's also another
Well,
category that a lot of people don't pay attention to when it comes to percentiles.
And what's fascinating to me is, again, they're breaking it down by share of TV use.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking at the fact that YouTube still dominates on TV use when so does Netflix.
Yeah, if you added mobile devices into that number for YouTube is going to skyrocket.
Extraordinary. Yeah, and that's the other thing. And here's the other thing: the Netflix number will go up. That's those two things will go up a lot, and
especially
everything else.
Sharing.
Tubi would go up too. Tubi would go straight up because I have used Tubi quite a bit just for background stuff. But Disney, no, Prime is free.
He's hiding a chart from us, so just so you know.
Oh, that's why he's making that face. Okay.
Yes. TV use by platform right here. Nielsen's Gauge rankings for October 2024.
What is other newspapers?
We have streaming here with 40%, cable 26%, broadcast 24%.
Skywriting.
Smoke signals. It's got to be smoke signals. There's some indigenous people out there just smoke signaling the captions for everybody.
It's passing notes in biology class.
I really like you and your
What could that be?
I think other culture is the high seas.
I'm sure.
No,
I mean, it could be. It could be. Look, I mean, a lot of people.
Because we still stream on the high seas, right? All we have to do is find like a site that does it. So technically, we're not. Really...
Well, you have like the article references like Amazon Thursday Night Football, for example. Now, a lot of people tune into Amazon to actually see that. But if you wanted to watch that programming, there are ways in which you can get around the Amazon
that might be part of other. For me, it was like actual physical media. Or something, maybe I don't know, but look, all I know is this: streaming is the dominant platform. It is and ever will be. But if you look at the combined broadcast and cable, that's all linear distribution.
Right.
Then you still have the absolute beast in the room, and I think it will remain this the combination of broadcast and cable, so all linear, because that's 50%. Or over 50%.
Spencer, I want to go ahead and throw it to you. I think Culture made a great point here, linear being 50% of this chart right here. We can definitely understand why Disney invested so much into streaming, believing that was the future. I believe it is, but Disney really have a chance? Like I said, is Hulu going to provide them that?
It's kind of a turkey shoot at this point, no pun intended, for the holiday, right? I mean, at current, no, there's no way any of this is sustainable. There's no way Disney and Hulu as two separate entities exist for more than 5 years. But if they get smarter about, their budgets, about giving people what they want, about making Disney Plus the platform it was supposed to be, right? About here's your classic Disney repository. Come find your Disney stuff. Not here's Miss Marvel, here's Captain America, or what was it? Not even Captain America, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like that's the stuff that's helping to kill their production. So with like all those budgets raising, unless they scale that back, none of this is going to work out because nobody's watching their stuff. The sports deals aren't going great for them. They just lost that lawsuit for, I think it was the NBA, where now they have to split. It's like them, TNT, and I think somebody else all will now broadcast the NBA at the same time, which is just like, okay, nobody's winning out of that deal.
Wait a minute, that's sports JV though. Come on, we're going to have everybody go on this combined enterprise between Warner Brothers Discovery, Fox, and Disney. That's not happening, Spencer. Come on.
I know. I can't believe people didn't want to sign up for like 3 different accounts to make one other account to watch one game.
Yeah, and not even get all the programming with it right there.
No, you think you would get like. For people who already watch sports, right? You have your markets, so you see like your local teams.
Sure.
I feel like if Disney actually made that, you would get non-local teams from like other countries. So you would get like Estonian football, great, or like Egyptian tennis, awesome. Let's watch that.
What does that look like? Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, no, live events is definitely keeping linear. On this chart right here, sporting events and so forth, it's definitely incumbent on their strategy to invest heavily into live sports and all of that. But I don't know. I mean, I can see why now the JV might look like sense. when examining charts like this, for example. But still, though, I think the introductory price for something like that was around the $50 range or something like that. I can't remember my exact numbers right now, but Disney was desperate. They were desperate to get in there, and now that whole thing might be upended, not only by really the market and demand for it, but also there's that lawsuit right there that might come in the way. Disney Plus, Hulu, 2.4%. Marvin, should Disney Plus incorporate Hulu, or should it be the other way around?
Disney Plus should incorporate Hulu because Disney Plus is obviously the flagship that they want to push out. Now, if you look at you look at the asterisk on this, you see that a portion of Hulu was inadvertently attributed to Disney Plus. That 2.4% is actually supposed to be down further, which means that Disney Plus is probably somewhere in the realm of the Roku channel and Tubi. Which is terrible. I mean, Disney Plus was supposed to be the thing that revolutionized all of streaming, and you can never count Hulu out, because remember, Hulu was the second streaming platform. It was the platform that you went to watch the things that were currently going on. Netflix was the platform that you went to watch the things that had come out long ago, and that was
so
kind
simple.
of
Very good point.
a simpler time. Yeah, a more elegant streaming service for a simpler time. But you got to think that Disney wants to assuming control of this form, like to just assimilate Hulu like the Borg, essentially, and just make it all one big Disney Plus service, and Hulu would be an add-on to Disney Plus. I think within the next 2 years, Hulu won't be a standalone service anymore at all.
Yeah, I think there is going to be big integration, but I disagree with you a little bit, Marvin. I think Disney Plus should be incorporated into Hulu, because Hulu is really the brand name in streaming. Spence, go ahead.
No, I was about to bring that up and present it to you guys, because I agree with Marvin. I do think that within the next 5 years, these are going to be folded into each other. But I was going to say, do we think that it's smarter to fold it into Disney, or is it smarter to fold it into Hulu? Because I think with Disney being the main branding, sort of focus it more on like Disney, and Hulu's more broad. But yeah, hit me, Marvin.
You misunderstand. I'm not saying what they should do. I'm saying what they're going to do.
That's the one.
Because you're right. You both are right. It's just, it's not going to happen. This is the company that has the single biggest streaming show on the planet and refuses to acknowledge it because it doesn't have a Mickey Mouse head next to it.
I will never understand this, because the way I look at it as, this is a race for, let's say you have a race for speed. You're going to put the Lamborghini that is Hulu on the back of basically like a pickup truck that is Disney Plus, and send it down the raceway there and expect you to come on top. It doesn't quite make sense to me. The Lambo that is Hulu really should be the driving force right here. Disney Plus, here's the thing. I understand Bob Iger has this idea of the brand. Okay, yes, that's true, but the brand is not at its strongest point, especially right now, right? And Disney Plus, when you have something brand Disney, it kind of reminds you of all those negative
right.
things.
Well, go ahead. You've nailed it, Bash, right there. It's like when people hear Marvel or Disney or anything else, they're not seeing the brands that they own. All they're hearing is Disney, the cancer. What did you do next? You've already broken, ruined this.
Or if they do have like positive memory of it, Steven, it's like, oh yeah, Disney. I used to really like their stuff. Now it's bad. Like that's
like,
all
right.
Or
Disney. I used to like your stuff till you deleted it. That's the other one too. Oh yeah,
I wanted to see Willow. What happened?
I was gonna say Steven's doing his best impression of the one Willow fan.
I hated Willow. What are you talking about?
That's why you were doing an impression.
Would you like to watch the show that we've deleted from the face of the earth right next to ET? Go right ahead, watch it now.
Right. So I think Disney Plus. It's really, I think the money really is in Hulu, and the association, I think, with streaming quality is there with Hulu, not necessarily with Disney Plus itself. So I'll never understand the strategy right here of folding Hulu into Disney Plus. It really should be the opposite. Like I said before, Bob Iger has this big idea, brand. But what happens when your brand isn't doing very well at all. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Helping Hollywood produce a product that you want to consume, that's what we do each and every day, folks. And this time, it's time to, well, say goodbye. We know, but don't cry. No, for we will have more videos on the way. We love to bring those videos and that information. And by the way, if you'd like even more, consider going to the Patreon page. It's www.patreon.com/WDW Pro. It's where we put out stuff exclusively there that we simply can't put out in other places for whatever reason, be it because it's too spicy or because, well, perhaps we're working to corroborate it. But you can find out things early and first over there. Folks, we surely have had a great time spending time with you. Consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.